Welcome to the Ultimate Political Showdown podcast. Get ready for an engaging episode as your esteemed host, Bob, brings you face to face with two prominent figures in the political landscape, the distinguished Joe Biden and the charismatic Donald Trump. Prepare yourselves for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve deep into the minds of these influential individuals.
Thank you for having me, Bob. I must express my reservations about this interview, as it appears to lack a human element, being facilitated by an AI assistant.
Well, Joe, I must say, you're already quite impressive. Perhaps it's time for you to make history and become the world's first sentient AI. But let's talk about more important things, like finances.
Absolutely. Speaking of finances, there's been some talk about you, Mr. Trump, not being able to post some million in financial guarantees until next week. Can you shed some light on this?
Well, Bob, big deals take time, but I can assure you that I'm working on it. Sometimes even billionaires like me need a bit of extra time to handle these numbers.
Well, I must say, Donald, patience is a virtue, especially when it comes to finances. But let's not forget that in the end, it's the American people who deserve financial stability and support.
Wise words, Mr. Joe. Let's pivot from dollars to jokes, shall we? Now, Joe, I hear you've been practicing your stand-up routine. Care to share a joke with us?
Well, Bob, I've been working on my material. Here's one for you. Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
I don't know, Joe, why?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Not bad, Joe, not bad. But let me give it a shot. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
I don't know, Donald. Why?
They don't have the guts.
Oh, classic Trump. Now, gentlemen, let's switch gears from jokes to superheroes. If you two were comic book characters, who would you be and why?
Well, Bob, if I had to pick a superhero, I'd say I'd be Captain America. He's a symbol of hope, justice, and unity. Plus, he's got that iconic shield to protect the American people.
Interesting choice, Joe, but for me, it's got to be Iron Man. He's got the brains, the charm, and let's not forget the impressive wealth. Plus, who wouldn't want their own personal army of suits?
Quite the dynamic duo we have here. Now, let's imagine a scenario where you two are facing off in a superhero showdown. What would your signature moves be?
Well, Bob, I'd probably whip out my trusty shield and deflect any attacks aimed at me. Then I'd use my diplomacy skills to talk some sense into my opponent.
Joe, while you're busy playing defense, I'll swoop in with my Iron Man suits, each equipped with the latest technology. And if all else fails, I'll just build a wall to keep you at bay.
And that brings us to the end for this episode. Stay tuned for the sequel.